It's remarkable how when we fail at something, we say, I'm a failure. If it's true that one failure makes you a failure, what's the opposite? One success makes you a success.
You look within yourself, like it's not out there. It's whatever it is, whatever's bothering you or whatever's making you filled with joy, it's coming from here and it's not out there. Like that really resonated with me because I've gone through that this whole year. So that definitely sat with me.
I have to quit smoking. So instead of thinking I have to quit smoking, I can't do it, oh, I can't smoke, to think of why I don't want to smoke and how I would look if I didn't smoke and how I would feel if I didn't smoke. And that changed my perspective today.
Hi, I just attended Rob's speaking, and what I really got out of this was how much your self-talk can be so damaging. And sometimes the lessons that we have to learn are just lessons, and that they're not good or bad. They're just lessons.
What he shows me is that you can. You know, we can do this and stop saying negative things to ourselves, you know, because for so long for me, I did that. Come and watch one of Rob's speeches and you will find hope. You will find hope because he's been where you've been. And that's how it works, you know. You find someone who's been where you've been and see that little hope in their eyes and you're like, maybe I can, maybe I can. So today he showed me that I can.
And the deal is, if you really want to reinvent your life, there's no negotiating with your commitment. That's called integrity. If you want to reinvent your life, you have to start practicing new behaviors. If you want to become someone you've never been, you have to start doing the things you've never done. You have to. Otherwise, you stay who you are. And if you choose to be unhappy, miserable, volunteering as a victim, that's your choice. That's on you. But if you want to elevate your life, if you want to reinvent yourself, you want to live here, not here. You could choose to live here. You know, part of reinventing ourselves is changing the words we use. And those of you that know me or I've coached, you know this. You have to change the words you use if you want to change your life. Your subconscious mind hears the words you're saying. Now, the subconscious mind doesn't know if the word you're using is growing a thorn bush or a rose bush. Subconscious mind doesn't know. It's just going to grow what you give it. Things like, I shouldn't have done that. Well, why not? Why shouldn't you have? Should is about shame, self-abuse. I'm not good enough. I'm inferior. Look how horrible I am. Look at that terrible decision I made. I shouldn't have done that. Why not? Why shouldn't you have? Now, I could have done it differently if I knew better. Doesn't that sound better? Anybody? Sounds better. See, that we got to watch. We have to be present and self-aware of what we're saying. Most people are not happy. Most people are not fulfilled. Most people are just living life searching for fulfillment, wholeness, connection. We're searching. Unfortunately, many of us are searching out there for it. Whatever it is, the money, the house, drugs, alcohol, relationships, sex, we're looking out there for that wholeness and connection. But what we come to realize when we really want to grow spiritually, when we're ready, we're open to a new process, a new design. It's all in here. Everything you need's in here. Why are you looking out there? Because if you've learned at this point, searching out there, is it filling you? Might bring a little happiness, truly. Might, temporary. You get a new car, you're happy. Till the bill comes. You're thrilled when you drive in that new car. After about 3 months, you might start, what did I get this for? The insurance is high, these freaking payments. Short term. Our goal in life truly is to really get that joy. There's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness comes and goes. I'm sure all of you have had happiness at some point in your life. But how many of you are joyful? How many of you can truly deep down within feel joy in spite of the chaos, pain, turmoil, loss? Where are you focused? What are you looking at? If you want to reinvent your life, you better change what you're looking at. Not just that internal conversation. The word should be eliminated out of your conversation. How about can't? So I'm a sober alcoholic, and I go to meetings. Sometimes I hear, I can't drink. Well, no, you can. You actually can drink, you could just choose not to. I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can, you could just choose not to. Can't is so defining, it's almost like you're getting into the boxing ring with whatever it is you can't do. Why can't you? You pretty much can do everything. You can even fly if you jump off a building, you're just not going to fly permanently. I mean, you pretty much can do anything within relative reason. Change the words. I can do that, but I choose not to. Me, a Kentucky Fried Chicken, I choose to eat it. But the idea is you have power. You have it in here, not out there. Start changing the words. I choose. I have a choice today. I can stay in this unhappy marriage. I can stay in an unhappy job. I can stay fearful. I can. I can't stand in this marriage anymore. Well, of course you can, but you can choose differently. I can't stand this job anymore. Choose differently. You have the power. But that power gets limited. The barrier is fear. The barrier is fear. Think about changes you want to make in your life, to reinvent yourself, to live at a whole new level. What's holding you back? Fear. Predominantly. Fear of the unknown. If you want to reinvent your life, you have to go into the unknown. Most people, forgive the verbiage, but most people would rather stay and live in a known hell than go into an unknown heaven. Because at least you know what you have. There's security in that. What's so fearful of the unknown? There's a lieutenant, they're in a battlefield, lieutenant captures the enemy and brings them to the colonel. And the colonel is ultimately going to kill the guy. He's dead. So he says to the guy, he says, listen, tomorrow morning, you can either go before the firing squad or go through that door. The guy says, well, what's through that door? The colonel says, unknown horrors. Unknown horrors. The morning comes, the guy comes out, the colonel says, so what'd you decide? Firing squad or the door of unknown horrors? He chooses the firing squad. So later on, the lieutenant comes over and says, what's behind that door? The colonel says, freedom. Freedom. Because there are horrors in taking risks and chances, but there's also joy and beauty in taking risks and chances. For a long, long time, I wanted to put together a speaking presentation. Years and years and years ago, I used to speak in front of hundreds and hundreds of people and loved it. My life changed, been through some trauma of my own making. And if you want to reinvent your life, you better own your crap. You want to reinvent yourself? Own it. You want to reinvent yourself? Better start telling yourself the truth. And if you're in the picture frame and you don't really see it clearly, find somebody that can see the picture and tell you the truth about you. Because the hardest thing for anybody, I believe, is to get the truth about yourself. Who wants to hear the truth about themselves? Most people don't. But if you want to reinvent your life, you have to tell the truth about yourself. So part of my self-reinvention was facing the truth about everything. All the stuff I was running from. So many people run from themselves. Are you running from you? Are you running from you? Think about it. Are you running from you? Addicts run into alcohol and drugs and gambling. Those that can abuse eating, I can relate, we run to food. Some people run to a bigger position at their job, run to a bigger house, relationships. Why are you running from yourself so much? Are you that horrible that you need to continue running from yourself? And some of us run real fast. Jail, horrible relationships, misery, regret and shame. We're running. Just stop and stay still. Face the truth about yourself. Pay attention to how you're talking with yourself. Look at your beliefs. What beliefs do you have that you don't want anymore? Do you have beliefs about yourself or the world or others that you don't want anymore? Are there any? Are all of your beliefs really 100% on point? Is there room for improvement? You start practicing your beliefs. Practice makes what? Never. You will never be perfect. It's impossible. Practice makes improvement. And if you want to be perfect, you will have insomnia, stress, anxiety. You will self-abuse. You'll have a negative internal dialogue because you're just not good enough. You're going to feel inferior because you're not perfect. Well, I'm going to welcome you to the human race. We are imperfect. And if you've made mistakes, congratulations, Lucille. You're imperfect. Congratulations. I'm very happy that all of you are imperfect. Because all I strive for is betterment. I want to better my best. There was a time when I said, well, I shouldn't have done that. Well, why not? I could have done it differently. I didn't know better. Something about me was so damaged, I didn't know better. Maybe on some level, but not deep. But now I know better. So what do we do when we know better? We do better. We do better. Are you willing to do better? Do you want to do better? Because if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. See, if I go back today to that old personality, that old me, I'm going to get that result, the old results. I don't want to change me. I just want to reinvent me, become a whole new human being. So if you want to reinvent your life, take risks, take chances. If you want to reinvent your life, it's exceedingly important that you socialize with people who make you better. You know, if you ever want to get an opinion of someone, just look at their friends. Who are they hanging out with? See, if I want to better my life, I have to hang out with people who have what I want. A lot of us know this. We've talked about this. Some of you know me and we've talked. If I want to better myself, I need to find someone who has what I want and do what he does and get what he has. It's the most simple formula in existence. If I want to build a career in business of some sort, I find someone who's successful in that business, I do what he did, I'll get what he has. We don't have to search and look for a plan to make this happen. Mentors. I personally surround myself with a village of people better than me. Because if I want to better myself, I have to. If I want to better myself, I have to. It's a choice. If I'm lost or confused or don't like myself, I need to surround myself with people who've worked through that, who've grown through it, who like themselves. And then ask them, well, what strategies did you do? I want to do those. There's a fix for everything. Find someone who has what you want, you do what they do, you get what they have. Surround yourself with a village of people who have what you want. If I was a meth addict for a couple of years, and if I wanted, like 15 years ago, and if I want to quit methamphetamine, what happens if I hang out with people that are getting high on methamphetamine? Right. I need to now change my circle. You're responsible for that. I'm responsible to reinvent my life. I'm responsible to recreate my life. I'm responsible to redesign my life. I'm responsible for what happens in my life. Is your environment, are your feelings, is your belief, is how you feel today a result of your environment? Or is your environment a result of you? Now, sometimes if the environment is causing you pain and heartache, you have the power and the choice to put a design together to make a change. You're never stuck. You have to devise a plan to make a change. It may take time. The most successful people are the most flexible. Sometimes it just won't happen when you plan it to happen. But you must be flexible. You know, we talked about the word certain and can't. There's another word that I truly, and people that know me, I don't use the word bad. I had a bad day. How many of you have ever said that? I've had a bad day. Well, why was it bad? See, the subconscious mind hears, I'm bad. That's what the subconscious mind hears, I'm bad. Bad day, I'm bad, it was a bad, everything was bad. How can you build your confidence if that's how your subconscious mind is reflecting, I had a bad day? You know, my father passed away unexpectedly. That wasn't a bad day. It was a painful day, painful week, month. It was painful, challenging, but why was it bad? Because I have news for you. The days that are challenging are the days you grow the most. Those are the days when you have an opportunity to practice principles you want to live by. That's when you grow. Do you want to grow or stay the same? And unfortunately, life comes with challenges, pain, heartache, loss. And it comes with love and beauty and peace and serenity. It comes with a whole mix. Some successes, some failures. So next time you want to say, I'm having a bad day, why don't you change it? I'm having a painful day, a challenging day. Because a challenge is meant to overcome. Challenge is meant to grow through. We have to go through it and grow through it. We don't want to avoid it. We don't want to run from it. Because you cannot reinvent and transform your life running from you. You have to face yourself. Anybody here ever have a challenge facing themselves? The truth about themselves? Is anybody still processing the truth about themselves? Excellent. Because life is about progress, not perfection. It's about progress, not perfection. You want to reinvent yourself. You want to recreate your identity. You know, life is not about what it can give me. It's about what do I want to do in this life. Life happens for me, not to me. Or to you, is it happening to you and you're just a victim? Make life happen for you. You create your story. You create your life. You create the story you tell yourself. You. Mr. Putman, my life is not a product of you. My life is a product of me. Your life is a product of you, no one else. No one to blame. Now, when you're a child, you could be a victim of your environment. But now we're adults. Now we have choices. You can volunteer as a victim if you want through your whole life, or change yourself. You're responsible to redesign, recreate your life. No one else is responsible for that. Does anybody here blame anybody else for what's happening in their life right now? Because we always play a part in something. Now, saying that, it's always within reason, because there's no every unforeseen occurrences befall us all, right? Things can happen unexpectedly. But generally, your life is a result of you. And if you're not happy with your life, if you're not happy where you are, you better look at yourself. Look at yourself. If you want to reinvent your life and change your life, pay attention to where you're looking. You're going to go where you're looking. Has anyone wanted to change their life and you're focused on what you want to change? Anybody want to change anything and you focus on what you want to change? Right, most people. But if you're looking at what you want to change, you're looking at what you want to change, what's going to happen? You're going to go where you're looking. So if I want to quit smoking, and all I look at is quitting smoking, what am I looking at? Smoking. I'm going to go where I'm looking. Whatever it is you don't want to do, don't look at what you don't want to do. Don't look at it. Look at where you want to go. Look where you want to go. Because your life will be a product of the thoughts you nurture. Your life will be a product of what you're focused on. You agree? No human being is responsible for their first thought. I mean, a thought can come from a TV commercial, driving down the street, seeing somebody, a conversation. A thought can just arrive. Anyone ever have a thought arrive that where the heck did that come from? Anybody? But she's like all the time. But you are responsible with what you do with that thought because you're a product of what you're nurturing. First thought can come. Now you have a choice. Battle that thought. Fight the thought. Really get in it with that thought. If that's what you're looking at, what's going to happen? You're going to pick up that cigarette. Meth pipe. But when you get that thought, change what you're looking at. Focus on where you want to go, not what you don't want. When someone says, I'm not good enough, compared to what?
My expectation.
Right. Compared to your story. I'm inferior to what? Half the time, our beliefs are based on our own story that no one said to us. Did anyone ever have someone in their life or a circle of friends that tell you how amazing you are and yet you walk away deep down, you just feel like you're a piece of crap? She's like, no. Everyone tells me I'm a piece of crap. Which is, give me an example.
When I say I'm not good enough, I also think I'm all that.
Oh, so an egomaniac with an inferiority complex. Fantastic. Very complex. I'll give you my number after. I got a good 3 months coaching there. No, I get it. But that's still based on the story. Now, there was a time when I was a television celebrity and I was all with the masks of look how amazing I am and laughing and successful. But deep down inside, I hated myself. I felt unworthy, inferior, not good enough. I had so much shame, self-abuse inside. I'd be doing my thing on television, yet deep down inside, I am in a boxing match. I appeared peaceful and serene. Can any of you relate to that? Forget the battlefield. In that brain, no one is seeing that battlefield. What I had come to learn was that was my story I created that doesn't exist. Other than a verbally abusive individual, other than that, your friends who you socialize with, do they walk around saying, Barbara, you're not good enough? Not good enough. Not good enough for me. Right. Of course, now we're not getting deep into this, but then it comes down to, well, why do I say that to myself? Why do I believe that? All of you have power right now to do whatever it is you want to do in your life. You have to make a goal to achieve what you want to achieve. But with that goal, you have to adopt strategies to get the goal achieved. Many people have goals. Any of you have goals? Anybody? Karen? Most people have goals with no strategies to achieve them. And what is that called? A wish. Many people have wishes of what they want, but they don't have the strategies to achieve them. And if you don't have the strategies, you're going to wish your life away. It's remarkable how when we fail at something, we say, I'm a failure. If it's true that one failure makes you a failure, what's the opposite? One success makes you a success. Now, anyone that failed at anything, did you succeed at anything? Raise your hand if you succeeded at anything and failed at anything. Okay, so are you a failure or a success? Well, you're really complex. You're really everything. You're just art, creating and building. That's what you are. But yet, you make a mistake, you fail at something, you say, I'm a failure. Well, you better say the same thing when you succeed. I'm a success. I bet most of you don't. Sometimes you negate the success. I'm really a failure, even though a couple of things happened. Do you know that Massachusetts Institute of Technology did a study that it takes 17 positive affirmations to counteract one negative? One negative. If I said to you, you are truly an ugly woman, you would need 17 people to say how beautiful you are to balance it out, because you're going to obsess on the one person who said you're ugly. We're going to come back to you, beautiful, don't worry. There's an old African proverb that I love, and it took me a long time to really grasp it deeply. There's no enemy within, no enemy on the outside can cause me harm. If I feel like a beautiful person and someone thinks I'm not, your opinion is not my destiny. That's your opinion. One time I had a guy say to me something terrible about me years and years ago. He said something terrible. And boy, did it work on me. Who does he think he is? And I wanted to fight him. And I just felt horrible that he would say that to me. So I went over to him and said, who the hell you think you are saying that to me? Something like, you're a piece of crap or you're a loser or whatever. I said, who do you think you are? And he was an older guy. And I was getting a little confrontational back in my non-spiritual days, or a time when I was getting ready to grow. His response was profound. Profound at the time for me. He said, would you be this angry if I said you were a chair? I would think you're nuts if you said I was a chair. And he said, why? I said, because I'm not a chair. Exactly. And he walked away. No enemy in the outside can cause me harm if I don't have an enemy within. Does that make sense? But I have to do what's needed to get rid of that enemy within, that internal dialogue, those beliefs that are untrue, and I believe them. And these people were horrible. And I said to my coach, these people are horrible. I can't stand them. They make me angry. This one guy, I want to knock his teeth in. Going back about 12 to 15 years. And he says to me, he goes, well, do you want to grow? Do you want to become more spiritual? Do you want to become more grounded? Do you want to become a new person? Absolutely. He says, okay, so here's what you're going to practice starting today. He says, each of those individuals are going to be your teachers. That person is going to teach you patience. That person is going to teach you tolerance. That person is going to teach you compassion. That person is going to teach you powerlessness. That person is going to teach you acceptance. See, if I want to grow spiritually, I have to change the way I'm looking at people. You know, if you change one thing about others, and this is an exercise that takes due diligence, because our natural tendency is to get annoyed in traffic and aggravated at the person at the counter at Publix that is there for a half hour shuffling to it. It's a natural tendency to get a little heated. But if we change the way we look at it, you know what? This is because I've been wanting to be a more patient individual. This is my opportunity. I can practice patience right now. Maybe I can practice compassion. Maybe that lady up there is suffering. Maybe she's in pain. Maybe her heart is breaking right now. And yet I want to knock her teeth in and I'm cursing her out under my breath. Maybe she's really hurting. See, if we change the way we look at people, the people we're looking at will change. And I do this to the best of my ability. If you look at everyone like their heart is breaking, wouldn't you look at them differently?